Rugby League. Dial *515# to subscribe.
Welcome to Lake Asasumba.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Good evening. Welcome to TV1 News. I'm Maricela Kelleton.
And I'm Jasmine Jack. Join me later in the bulletin for sports.
In this edition, government's urge to align plans to PNGs, OTML signs on 12 new apprentices, and ITEN confirms hunters hosting Winem in POM.
Member for Kompia Mambum, Sir John Fundari, in Thursday's Parliament called on all leaders of Enga province to make a collective effort in addressing lawlessness in the province. Discussions on the recent mass killings and destructions of state properties in Wapenamanda took precedence in this week's Parliament sessions.
Kompia Mambum MP Sir John Fundari was among other members of Parliament who called for a collective effort in addressing the lawlessness in his province. Discussions and statements relating to the recent mass killing of more than 50 people and destruction of state properties in Wapenamanda was the agenda for the most part of Parliament this week. Sir John says it is a matter of national importance. Leaders in the province must forego personal differences and put a stop to the loss of innocent lives and destruction of vital services.
On the ground alone, Mr. Assistant Speaker, is the best place to find solutions and peace. Systems that are not working, Mr. Assistant Speaker, must be reviewed, checked, and strengthened. Where is the Provincial Law and Order Advisor? Is he doing his job or compromised? Where are the peace mediators and the village courts in the province? Do we continue to terminate them because they are not political supporters when they're doing their job? These are questions we need to seriously address.
Sir John accused the province leaders for colluding with warlords and tribal leaders that instigate such inhuman behavior.
Iminoken kamlo must be in a parliament na yimigyaman about. There is an interesting scenario where a senior politician called defense to pull out and to let an enemy tribe bend down another village when this tribal conflict was at its earlier stages. You wouldn't have experienced these deaths if the senior leader called his defense and told them, move out so the dead enemy can go and bend that territory down.
Honorable member.
Mr. Assistant Speaker,
Interrupt you.
I just humbly, from a province where this problem is, so that leaders on the floor of Parliament can be able to appreciate the truth so we can find lasting solutions.
He also called on leaders to allow with security personnel to work independently in addressing the situation. More than 50 people were killed in an ambush between tribes in remote Akom village in Vapenamanda on Sunday. It is believed that the violence involved the same tribes that were responsible for clashes that killed 60 in Enga province last year. Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
Prime Minister James Marape, in response to the opposition's claims of parliamentary processes being hijacked, said opposition had enough time to file their notice and have it run its course. Instead, failed 2 times to meet the requirements to have the motion placed on the notice paper. Marape added that opposition also had the opportunity to block the motion by the leader of government business to adjourn parliament if they had the numbers.
Following the adjournment of Parliament for 3 months to May 28, the opposition held an open-air press conference where they expressed their dissatisfaction at the way the notice for a vote of no confidence was handled, claiming constitutional processes and parliamentary standing orders were abused.
From the word go, they've been challenging us. We'll see you on the floor. Bring your numbers.
Bring your numbers.
Where are your numbers? Well, we have the numbers. They are all here. Yeah. On a physical count, we may not be enough. What are they afraid of? Why are they pushing back this agenda? So there's something that is happening within their ranks which we don't know, but they're so afraid to see this particular motion brought to the floor and see the light of day and be actioned by the leaders.
To this, Prime Minister James Marape said numbers are important in making decisions in Parliament and the opposition had no numbers to help them in their fight.
Complete show put up by the members of the opposition. Some of them have been around in Parliament for as long as Parliament existed. They should have known better that Parliament is dictated or run, controlled based on numbers, on strength. And so for them to put on a facade that sort of so as if government was running away from its business, I just want to indicate to the country, far from it. We weren't running away from our parliamentary businesses.
He also alleged the notice for VONC submitted by the opposition indicated signs of signature forgery.
Certain signatories of motions, especially the second motion, I will not be surprised if the third motion also it confirms that certain signatories did not sign onto the motion. Evidence of cut and paste, evidence of photocopying that has emerged in a serious Section 145 motion. And this is not a funny matter for them to procure signatures of leaders without their consent.
He then assured members of the opposition that Parliament will resume on May 28, and that is when they still can pursue the VONC against him. The opposition in its media conference yesterday also indicated to seek legal advice on their next course of action. Ruth Rongola, TV1 News.
The 11th Parliament yesterday honored the life and contributions of the late Jimmy Uguro, Minister for Education, in a Lion State ceremony in Parliament. Late Uguro passed away on February 6 this year in Wewak, Isipik Province, whilst on official ministerial duties upon invitation of the Minister for International Trade and Investment and MP for Yanguru Sausia, Richard Maru, for the conversion status of the Wingay High School to secondary school.
On February 6, 2024, the news of the untimely passing of the Education Minister and member for Sino Bundi, Jimmy Uguro, shocked the nation. Dedicated and faithful to his task at hand as minister responsible for the ministry facilitating the delivery of education to the thousands of Papua New Guinean children. The late minister served his country up till his last days. Yesterday, fellow members of parliament, despite conflicting views and outbursts since the beginning of this session of parliament, put aside their differences and were united through mourning and paying tribute to remembering a great man, Jimmy Uguro.
The Honorable Uguro typifies a leader committed to his duties, even at the expense of his own personal well-being. Mr. Deputy Speaker, Acting Speaker, we work in a thankless job. We work in a thankless job, not that we want thank you and appreciation, but we labor on and work on despite personal effects on our own self. I speak knowing very well the conditions of my brother. A couple of years back, he had a massive stroke, but he's labored on and soldiered on, making his utmost best to recover from the stroke he had. And he died in his sleep. He died in his sleep while attending to a call of duty to the people of this country in an educational work up in East Sepik province.
What can this parliament do and legislate in order for us to care and love and cherish the leadership that they've taken with them but left their families alone? When I'm something we can walk in. Me been talk the last funeral we come here. When I spoke, I said this. I said when we have only 2 appointments in this world. Appointment number 1 is when we are born, and appointment number 2 is when we are called to go back to our grave. Now, Mr. Speaker, let me conclude by putting this to us. I have mentioned this and I'll mention it time and time again. The best way to mourn for the dead is to care for the living.
We say thank you to his family, his clan, his tribe, the people of Usunopundi and Medellin for lending us. The late minister, the late honorable minister was a larger-than-life personality in our country's education sector. Mr. Acting Speaker, as we mourn the loss of the late minister, let us also celebrate his remarkable contributions to our great nation. Though he may no longer walk amongst us, his legacy will endure through the countless lives he had touched and the transformative changes he had established. Let us honor his memory by continuing the work that he so passionately pursued, the PNG Education Transformation Vision 2025 to 2075.
Although sudden, the passing of the late Education Minister Jimmy Uguro, his legacy of leading the reform of education in the country will hopefully inspire the next generation of leaders with attentiveness to reforming and improving our education system. Maricela Kelleton, TV1 News.
Ungai Bena MP Kinoka Feo in Parliament this week posed questions to the Health Minister regarding the non-operational oxygen plant at the Gorka Provincial Hospital and a shortage of health workers at the facility. Health Minister Dr. Lino Tom responded, shedding light on ongoing challenges within the health sector.
Ungai Bena MP Kinoka Feo says since 2022, installation of the largest oxygen plant in Papua New Guinea was completed at the Gorka Provincial Hospital. He queried when the oxygen plant will be commissioned.
It has a capacity of producing 87,600 cubic meters of gas, or equivalent to 11,680 cylinders, 50 liters. That has a value of 4.5 million kina. Currently, the Department of Health buys gases from BOC and supplies the entire Highlands region. In the initial proposal that we did, the purpose of the oxygen plant was not just for Eastern Highlands, but for the entire Highlands region. 10 months on, the oxygen plant has not been commissioned as yet.
Technical assessment of the oxygen plants was completed by the National Department of Health Pharmaceutical Services Standards Branch and the Health Facilities Standard Branch on the fourth quarter of last year. Assessment report has been presented, has been completed and sent to the Eastern Highlands PHA and the supplier. The National Department of Health Pharmaceutical Services Standards Branch is working on the therapeutic requirements for oxygen as a medicine. Different oxygen plants provide different concentrations of oxygen, and it is quite important for us to maintain some standards. Because of that, process, that compliance process is taking a bit of time.
Furthermore, in a supplementary question to the Health Minister, FAO asked when adequate reinforcement of health workers will be injected into the health services in Goroka.
The same thing with the Eastern Highlands, the new extension to the Eastern Highlands, the Goroka-based hospital. And what we are trying to do, and I've been pushing, and let me thank the former Treasurer and Minister assisting Prime Minister now, we were able to get a bit of improvement in the last budget. We got about 121 million, and that amount of money is actually being remitted directly to the PHA so that they can actually increase the number of workforce. But Speaker, whilst I have the floor, this is a very, very important issue facing the country right now. It's the acute shortage of health workforce in the country. A lot of us, because of the political demands placed on us, we want to make happy our supporters, so we are going ahead and building facilities without approval from the health department. It must come with the approval from the provincial health authorities and the health department, because when that's done, you have staff already there ready to facilitate or ready to actually carry out operations on those facilities that you build.
Dr. Lino says district authorities and provincial governments must collaborate with the provincial health authorities to align their plans to the PHA's clinical services plan in order to ensure there is adequate workforce for new infrastructure before embarking on building facilities that will sit idle when there isn't enough health workers.
A newly appointed 10-member board of the National Capital District Provincial Health Authority was sworn in at the National Department of Health headquarters at Aopi Center, Port Moresby, yesterday. This is the second NCD-PHA governance board after a 3-year tenure for the initial and first board ended in December 2022. Members of this new board will also serve for a term of 3 years. The PHA board's role is to provide governance oversight and direction to the CEO and the management team to oversee all health service delivery in the National Capital District, including Motukoita. Health Minister Dr. Lino Tom challenged the new board and all PHAs around the country to work with their local leaders because nothing gets done without them. The Eastern Highlands Provincial Government signed a road management performance agreement with the Department of Works today in Port Moresby. Minister for Works and Highways Solan Mirisim signed the agreement with the provincial member for Eastern Highlands, Simon Sear, to ensure all sub-national road networks in Eastern Highlands Province are properly managed.
The signing of the Road Management Performance Agreement between Eastern Highlands and the Department of Works and Highways signifies a start of a partnership stemming from the Road Fund and Management Act 2020. It ensures that all sub-national road networks in the province is properly managed so that the province gets value for money and sustains service delivery to its people. Minister for Works and Highways Solan Mirisim says the agreement implements a key element of the Act, namely the transfer and decentralization of road management powers to provincial and district governments. The Act also empowers provincial governments and district development authorities as road authorities under Section 13 to manage their own road networks. Mirisim clarified that the agreements are between the national government through the Department of Works and Highways, provincial governments, and 89 DDAs.
We are now going to sign to decentralize the powers of the roads because your roads are identified and also your district roads are identified as well. We have a separate agreement for all the DDAs as well. So what we'll be doing now is once the provincial road is signed, then we'll extract that roads into DDA agreement and the members of parliament will be signing as well. So there are governors who worked on their roads. There are governors who are not working and they think Connect PNG is the answer to everything. And Connect PNG will come down and deliver all the roads as well. So by now, we will prioritize Connect PNG, provincial roads and the district roads. So
the first agreement was signed with autonomous region of Bougainville. In return for financial support from the national government, its provincial government and its DDA will be required to adhere to government road policy issued by the Minister of Works and Highways under the Act, adhere to national government 5-year road development targets and goals, meet key road sector performance, and submit annual works plan to the Department of Works and Highways for assessment before submitting them to the Department of National Planning and Monitoring for funding. Mirisim said these requirements are not to impose a burden on provincial governments and DDAs, but rather that with their road management powers, their provinces and districts can flourish with high-quality road networks built to standard and are sustainable enough to serve communities and socio-economic development efforts.
And I'm appealing to all the governors in all the provinces in this country to take the cue on, and we will support you with this, and you can help us and we will help you. So in that way, let's all work together and see the roads all delivered to this country. Marabe Rosso government under flagship Connect PNG program is the way forward, and it's the real, and it's actually working. It's actually working. But when we come into this kind of program to identify and prioritize the roads, we will deliver. We will deliver.
Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
This is TVWAN News. Stay tuned for more of the day's other stories after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bungim Yumi.
Open Nets.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like you more.
This season, the Bunce family are taking the ultimate risk.
There's no investors, there's no third party.
We're paying for it ourselves.
We have to find some good trade.
The stakes are high. And every decision is their own.
Time and money is everything. That's how important it is.
Hit it!
Rush, move. It's all or nothing.
If we don't mine this year, we have no next year.
Jade Fever, streaming now on Outdoor.
Come in, number 3. Number 3, come in.
Help me! Get me out of here!
Inside premieres Saturday, February 24th, 9 p.m. on HBO.
Welcome back. In a concerted effort to bolster sustainable coffee development and combat climate change, a consultation convened in Port Moresby this week, drawing together stakeholders pivotal to Papua New Guinea's agricultural landscape.
Organized by the Climate Change and Development Authority in collaboration with the Regional Pacific Nationally Determined Contributions Hub, the consultation marked the inauguration of a deliberative process aimed at fortifying the country's coffee industry against the vagaries of climate change. Acting General Manager for Measurement, Reporting and Verification at CCDA, Deborah Sungi, underscored the significance of this endeavor as a crucial stride towards fulfilling PNG's nationally determined contributions in agriculture, forestry, and other land use sectors by 2030. In alignment with global climate objectives. Central to PNG's NDC targets is a commitment to slash emissions by 10,000 gigagrams of carbon dioxide equivalent by 2030, primarily stemming from deforestation and forest degradation induced by agricultural and logging activities, as articulated by Ms. Sungi. Engaging the expertise of the Regional Pacific NDC Hub, the PNG government is spearheading the development of a comprehensive policy framework tailored to invigorate sustainable coffee cultivation. This framework, as emphasized by Ms. Sungi, endeavors to imbue the coffee sector with climate-smart imperatives while harmonizing with national sectoral plans and policies. The consultation workshop, held as a pivotal platform for multi-stakeholder engagement, provides an avenue for collective insight sharing with the aim of synchronizing actions across international policy paradigms, enhancing ambition, expediting implementation, and gauging tangible outcomes conducive to PNG's mitigation targets. Ms. Sungi extended gratitude to the NDC Regional Hub, the implementing partner SBC, and Crest Consulting for their unwavering support in facilitating the consultation process, underscoring the collaborative spirit underpinning PNG's climate resilience efforts. Carol Kidu Jr., TVWAN News.
22 aspiring individuals took a significant step towards their career aspirations as they officially joined Octedi Mining Limited's apprenticeship training program. The new apprentices, comprising 14 males and 8 females, inked their indenture contracts with OTML and the National Apprenticeship Trade Testing Board in a ceremony held January 30 in Tabubil, Western Province.
22 apprentices have enrolled in Octedi Mining Limited's apprenticeship training program in various trades including auto electrical, carpentry, cabinet making, joinery, electrical heavy equipment fitter and more. They are set to undergo a comprehensive 4-year apprenticeship training program with OTML and the National Apprenticeship Trade Testing Board. The program entails practical placements within the company alongside extension and block courses, culminating in the attainment of their trade certificates. Franz Hemmetsberger, OTML's General Manager of Engineering, Infrastructure and Projects, welcomed the apprentices, underlining the significance of making conscientious choices and finding purpose in one's life even amidst training. Hemmetsberger stressed the core values of integrity and accountability and performance as indispensable guiding principles throughout their apprenticeship journey. Addressing the gathering, NATTB Acting Director Brian Close emphasized the importance of cultivating the right attitude and practicing humility during the apprenticeship tenure. Close urged the apprentices to seize the opportunity to acquire practical skills diligently, as their apprenticeship forms the cornerstone of their professional journey. Close, in highlighting the legacy of excellence the apprentices are now part of, said that OTML has been producing quality apprentices over the past 40 years, and some were the best in the country, some are working overseas, and these apprentices are part of this process now. He said on the day of signing the indenture contract, OTML and NATTB are here to train them. Since its inception in 1989, 1,153 apprentices have undergone the rigorous training program offered by OTML. Carol Kido Jr., TV1 News.
The Human Development Institute recently marked a significant milestone with
time management, financial literacy, teamwork, and strategic planning. Students were equipped with the tools to foster personal viability.
To be able to achieve these goals, you change your whole belief system. You change it. Because all of us operate from memory, our conscious mind. Growing up, what we've been doing, what we've been told, what we've been taught. So we operate from our memory. But once you start using this Nara plus subconscious mind, do you? 10 kinaya, before you and big money, because everybody says 10 kinaya is you can only buy boy, smoke, I can't drink, that's all. Now people are able to repay school fees, and you will see you're paying tithes, you're paying coaching fees. You're using this simple 10 kina and convert it to 1,000 kina in just by changing the way you think about money.
Students received certificates for the successful completion of the course. They were also briefed on dividends, tithes, and the prestigious Club 1000 certificate, signifying exceptional performance and commitment. The Game of Money course proved transformative for its participants, as evidenced by the staggering statistics. Over a span of 7 days, students achieved remarkable results, one of which starting with a modest capital of 120 kina, with a total sales amounting to 13,530 kina. Testimonials from students Somerville Dagi and Level 2 Dutch student Kasate underscore the program's impact on personal and professional growth.
I, for one, have learned a lot about accounting systems. I don't fully understand it yet, but I'm determined to. This is a new beginning for my family, and I myself, of discovering our talents and passion, developing them, and continue to practice rich habits, one discipline at a time.
Romilo Kamlov, HDI, it was not a coincidence because God has his own ways. I made up my mind to succeed and achieve my short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. Prime Minister of the HDI. Thank you, HDI. And my fellow colleagues, over to you. By me, walk about the same road. I'm Tasson.
Integral to the success of the program were the PVBS coaches who diligently facilitated the course, ensuring participants grasped key concepts and applied them effectively. The meticulous recording of data through a custom mobile application enabled the assessment of individual performances and project viability. The graduation ceremony underscored education's transformative power, and the potential for self-directed learning to elevate Papua New Guineans' quality of life. Carol Kido Jr., TV1 News.
Chuka Industries is back on board as a sponsor to the Hiri Moale Festival set to take place in March. The Hiri Moale Festival is an annual event where the trade history of the Motuan people who are indigenous to the nation's capital is showcased, and this year will mark 50 years of the festival.
This year marks the 50th anniversary for the Hiri Moale Festival, one of the oldest festivals in the country. Chuka Industries Limited is once again back on board to be a part of the 50th festival in Port Moresby. Chuka Industries Limited marketing manager Marianne Tom was present to hand over the check to the Motukoita Assembly.
On behalf of Chuka Industries Limited, I'd like to announce our sponsorship for the third year as the official naming rights sponsor for the Chuka Vanagi race. Our sponsorship comes in cash, which goes towards the Vanagi race. The prize money is currently at the total of about 27,000 kina, and each of our Vanagi race participants will receive a consolation prize as well. And we also are obviously going to be donating in kind, which is our Chukai rice and also some merchandise. So
Chuka is hoping that this sponsorship will be bigger and better than the previous years. 2023 Miss Hiri Hanenamo Kim Josh Damuri shared that the Motukoita Assembly honors the partnership as a community give-back initiative towards supporting the Canoe Association in the Motu and Central villages.
This year, we celebrate 50 years of Hiri Moale Festival with Chuka Industries, the naming rights sponsor for the Vanagi Heo Helulu competition, which will be held at Erakone Saturday 23rd March. I would like to extend our appreciation and acknowledgement to the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Alan Preston, and his management team.
Representative of the MKA Canoe Race Committee, John Poddy, shared that the sponsorship over the last 2 years has boosted the canoe competition, drawing interest from various villages.
Yeah, sponsorship has boosted canoe owners and all the canoes from our coastal areas to vie for the top prize. This is one of the biggest prize ever sponsored for a canoe event.
The festival will run from the 22nd to the 24th of March 2024. Jasmine Jack, TV1 News.
Furthermore, MK Canoe Race Committee Representative John Poddy said more than 60 canoes are set to participate in the Vanagi race.
Canoe racing is a traditional sport blow. Maybe all coastal line, especially maybe all Papua. So this la one me concept bin come all get a Hiri Moale and canoe racing in one bla major event. He come and been die out low at one stage and die out. So for the last 5 years, maybe la try to revive him this la event. I have some la ogi lili association blow me blan all outside. Every one all crew, all skipper, every one all outside line, all motoko, some all motokoita within motokoita, but all hula, all one central to all dominating this la sport stuff. So me all Papua to me la stop na me oglo. Olimdisla sport. It's a one-off race on Saturday. Event is starting at 10 a.m. finishing at 3 p.m. And 50 kinats all me put in registration fee or A grade and B grade. Because all get the expenses and all get the 1 mm. Chukai covering business.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2663 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2588 US, $0.3922 Australian dollars, $0.2316 euro, and 38.57 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, coffee, cocoa, copra, and copper closed higher, while gold, palm oil, and crude oil closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed higher. TV1 News continues after the break with what's making headlines overseas.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Kakaru, get up and big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Number One Super wants members' super to last as long as possible in retirement. With Number One Super's retirement savings account, you get regular payments while the balance remains invested and continues to grow, helping your super savings last longer. It's like still getting paid, even when you stopped working. Number One's retirement savings account. Contact us today to find out more.
When you're spending time with family, when you've got a big day ahead, when you have given it all you've got, when you're putting on a feast, that's when you want the best. That's when you want flame rice. New flame rice. Win him, Olgeta.
Starting this Skelliard want a chancellor win him scaled school money blow all pickinini. Scale rice, he give him 200 chancellor win him 1,000 kina scaled school money. Buy him any scale or scale or rice product, write his full name, na mobile number, lo backside lo receipt, na put him inside lo entry box inside lo store. He got promotion term na condition too.
Skull Rise,
the Brain Changer.
The martial arts have been practiced for centuries. Forged out of an ancient Asian world of mayhem and intimidation. But in fact, they're all about self-defense, discipline, and honor. This is XMA, the world of extreme martial arts.
Watch Extreme Martial Arts, only on Fight Sports. First and exclusive.
Music fades, but art is for keeps.
Dominic Toretto, you're about to learn all about fear. Boom!
This is incredible, sick, and it's all ours.
If you can get this team to the Special Olympics finals, you might be ready to be back in the NBA.
First and exclusive, all new on Saturday.
Welcome back. An upcoming referendum in Vanuatu to outlaw political party hopping by legislators has sparked lively debate in the Pacific Island country, which has faced 3 changes of government in the past year. Dissatisfaction with political instability and a fast rising cost of living is widespread in the archipelago nation of more than 300,000 people. But there are also concerns that outlawing changes of political allegiance during a parliamentary term could be undemocratic. The past year has been particularly tumultuous for Vanuatu's politics, with 3 motions of no confidence against incumbent governments, resulting in a succession of prime ministers. There was also a snap election in October 2022. The Prime Minister at the time, Bob Lohman, dissolved his brief government in response to a no-confidence challenge, but it only resulted in re-election of the same crop of party-hopping legislators. Port Vila businessman Lopez Adams told Banner News that the problem will be left even bigger if left unaddressed, because Vanuatu's economy needs stability to grow fast enough to provide opportunities and jobs for an expanding youth population. As the war in Ukraine enters its third year. Thousands of Ukrainians who fled the conflict have made new lives in Australia, but many of them are facing an uncertain future with their humanitarian visas due to expire next year. Community leaders say they risk being left in limbo unless the federal government provides them with pathways to permanent residency.
Hemencourt and her daughter Christina have spent the last 2 years building a new life in Australia. When Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, the pair fled their home city of Kyiv before settling in Sydney.
When I arrived to Australia, I understood that yes, so it's my new life. I have to mobilize myself and think about how to build it from the scratch.
But they face an uncertain future. Their humanitarian visas expire next year.
People are trying to settle down, but when you don't know what your tomorrow is going to look like, this is not possible.
Nearly 4,000 displaced Ukrainians are in Australia on temporary humanitarian visas. With no end in sight to the war in Ukraine, community leaders are urging the federal government to act.
We're calling on the government to look at pathways for permanency. We have people who have been here now for over 2 years. They want to know what the future is.
The Department of Home Affairs says it continues to progress visa applications from Ukrainian nationals as a priority, particularly for those with a strong personal connection to Australia.
Canada and New Zealand have already established special permanent residency pathways for displaced Ukrainians in their countries. Advocates say Australia should do the same.
Give people stability and give them dignity to be able to create their new lives in Australia.
17-year-old Christina is desperate for some certainty about her future here.
Obviously, I want to start, my degree and go into uni and hopefully work here one day.
Dreams that are for now on hold.
Victorian communities are once again on edge after extreme weather fanned fast-moving bushfires west of Ballarat. People in Belfort have been told to leave their homes as out-of-control fires are bearing down the town.
A swirling, destructive bushfire on the move in Western Victoria and edging dangerously close to houses, including this 150-year-old former primary school in Raglan, which Ian O'Brien made his home 30 years ago.
I'm bloody real worried, yeah. I can't think. I'm just sort of, I got that real sickening tummy.
The fire started just south of Warwick, and by mid-afternoon, the Western Highway was closed and more than a dozen towns, including Beaufort, were warned to evacuate and go to Ballarat.
I'd say there's a few houses gone behind me. What do you do?
Leaving immediately. Leaving immediately is the safest option.
24 aircraft, including water bombers, have helped keep flames away from some homes. And on the ground, 100 vehicles and 1,000 firefighters are scrambling to do what they can. But it's a dynamic situation. And in Raglan, north of Beaufort, what seemed far away was soon dangerously close.
The fire has been growing and changing quite rapidly. There are now concerns about spot fires and potential of lightning to be created in that big smoke column that we're seeing. The warnings have now changed. Fireys Emergency Services are now telling people here in Raglan that they should also evacuate.
The fire soon spotting hundreds of metres ahead. A cool change is expected, but little rain is forecast, and it's feared strong southwesterly winds will simply push the blaze faster towards towns.
In effect, that will turn one side of the fire that is currently what we call a flank, or the side of the fire, into the main fire front, and will bring more communities under threat tonight. I expect those wind conditions to continue until about midnight tonight.
Last week, 46 properties in Pomonal near the Grampians were destroyed by bushfire. Now another tense night as smoke fills the air in Victoria's west.
And that ends the news segment. Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you, Maricela. We'll have sports news after the break. Stay with us.
Hardware House is more than just a store. It is where quality meets affordability, where culture is proudly celebrated, Spanning 9 provinces, we pride ourselves in offering top-notch customer support and services. We're more than just a store. We're more than a brand. We are Hardware House.
Beauty is my business, but beauty sure is a tough game. Filters are great, but great skin, better. And that's why my skin deserves the best. So I choose self-care, soaps that gently nourish my skin, resulting in a radiant look, made with tropical ingredients. I trust self-care from City Pharmacy, so bring it on! My skin is ready and so am I.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennau, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Get ready for more! Digicell's new Big Plus Supersized Data Plans. Now with more options, more plans, and more time. Choose from our daily plans, now valid for 24 hours, weekly plans, or even a monthly plan from our suite of Big Plus Supersized Data Plans. All with more data and starting from as low as 1 kina. Yes, you heard right. What's up, that's all? Yes, yeah! Only Digicell's Big Plus Supersized Data Plans gives you more. Activate today on my Digicell app or dial *675# only with Digicell.
He's seen as a table legend.
That is delicious.
Join Tommy Gomes in a tasty culinary voyage.
Holy mackerel. Did I just say that? We're exploring where your quality American seafood comes from. Quality is key. The uglier the fish, the better it tastes.
Take a deep dive into America's commercial fishing culture. The Fishmonger. Streaming now on Outdoor.
Surukan Plus Tuna TV. Alright, Mika.
Welcome back. The Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League will hold its 2023 annual general meeting in Lae, Morabel Province on Saturday, the 23rd of March. This was the date agreed to during the special general meeting of the PNG RFL held last year on the 25th of March 2023 in Port Moresby. PNG RFL Board Chairman Sandy Saka said that the organization, under the legal guidance of its lawyers, convened a special general meeting of the 6 fully compliant leagues of 2022 and resolved to defer the 9th PNG RFL AGM and election to this year in the spirit of good governance. This is to give time to more members affiliate properly and attend the PNG RFL AGM. Saka added that the deferral was to allow the PNG RFL to revitalize its membership and enable due process, guided by the PNG RFL's constitution. The 2023 AGM will see the inclusion of associate leagues, and compliant associates and affiliate presidents are encouraged to contact the Regional Game Development Officer for further information. West Tigers coach Benji Marshall has revealed the 26-man squad for the upcoming NRL preseason challenge against St. John Illawarra Dragons in Mudgee. Latest Tigers mark of season recruit and PNG international Justin Olam returns and will start in the centres alongside Stanford To'a, bringing this talent to the backline. Some key players will make their first appearance for the club in this exciting pre-season clash. File footage Tigers training pick Solomon Alaimalo, the speedy outside back who joined the club in December, is set to make his first appearance for West Tigers. Lachlan Galvin, the 18-year-old local junior, has recovered from a calf strain and is named on the bench. The excitement builds as West Tigers gear up for the NRL Pre-Season Challenge, set to showcase their talent and build momentum for the upcoming season. The SP PNG Hunters scheduled round 1 clash against winner Manly Seagulls in the 2024 QRL Host Plus Cup season will proceed as per programmed, according to PNG Hunters CEO Scott Barker. Despite media reports earlier this week, Barker said there has been no change to the current schedule, and at this point in time, all games will go ahead as per QRL draw. ABC News early this week released a statement saying the Queensland Rugby League was aiming to make a decision by the end of the week over whether to play early round games of its statewide competition in Papua New Guinea after the killing of at least 49 men in civil unrest. At the Hunters captain's run on Thursday this week, Hunters head coach Paul Ayton confirmed that Hunters will host Wynnum at the Santos National Football Stadium on the 10th of March.
There's a false report by the ABC News as far as we've heard. So as far as the Hunters are concerned, we'll be having our home games here.
The best 12 men's and women's rugby sevens teams in the world have arrived in Vancouver, Canada for the highly anticipated 4th round of HSBC SVNS 2024. Some of the world's fittest and fastest Olympic athletes will battle it out over 3 days of intense, non-stop rugby sevens action in front of a famously noisy and vibrant crowd under the roof at BC Place on the 23rd to the 25th of February. Play gets underway at 11:30 local time on Friday, and there will be extra excitement as Antoine Dupont, World Rugby Men's 15th Player of the Year award winner in 2021, is expected to make his SVNS debut for France when they face USA in their opening pool match. The captains of all 24 teams were warmly welcomed to Vancouver on Wednesday by Chief Wayne Sparrow as part of a special ceremony at the Musqueam Cultural Center. Argentina lead the men's SVNS title race, having claimed 2 gold and 1 silver medals from the opening 3 rounds. Argentina topped the standings on 58 points with a 14-point gap over Fiji and Australia behind them on 44 points. Melbourne Storm hooker and captain Harry Grant says it's so special for the club to be playing in Fiji, given the club has a strong connection with this rugby-crazed Melanesian island nation. The 25-year-old arrived in the country on Tuesday night alongside the players, coaches, and management ahead of Saturday's historic Fiji NRL trial match with the Newcastle Knights.
While at the back of their mind they've got a game to play, since the team arrived on the island, the experience has been surreal as players, coaches and the management soak up the Fiji culture.
It's a very warm welcome and very special for us to be over here playing, and hopefully the whole club just soaks in all the culture. I think we do have a very strong Fijian ties within our club, so it's about soaking in the culture this week, but also keeping in the back of our mind we've got a game to play.
Grant said it was also exceptional for former and current Fijian players in the NRL to be rewarded with having a game played in their homeland, adding they do have strong Fijian ties within the club and for sure finally rewarded.
Well, you think of some of the superstars of the game, Cameron Munster, Ryan Pappenhausen, and Jordan Hughes, and Kalen Ponga, the Safidi brothers from the Knights. So, that's very exciting in itself, and hopefully all the Fijian fans can come out and get to see those guys.
The Storm captain said having Tui Kamikamitha in their team and for the club to connect to Tui and his culture would be special. He added connecting with Fijian players who have played not only for the Melbourne Storm, but in the NRL is also special for them.
You know, it's special for us as a club. We got Tui at the moment in our team. That's you know, the King of Fiji. So for us to connect with Tui and his culture, it's going to be pretty special. But also, yeah, connecting with all the players that have not only played for the Melbourne Storm, but in the NRL, it's pretty special for them.
Grant revealed they have brought in a few recruitment officers over to Fiji and hopefully might find a few playing in the villages. Terry Long with TVWAN Sports.
And that ends news in sports. Over to you, Maricela.
Thank you, Jasmine. We'll now have the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, but mostly cloudy with chances of few showers or drizzles. Momase, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain over Vanimo. Lae and Medan, cloudy with some showers. New Guinea Islands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Kavieng, Kimbe and Buka, cloudy with few showers. Highlands, scattered showers and thunderstorms with areas of rain. Goroka, Bans, Pundiawa, Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, some showers with possible thunderstorm. Coral and Solomon Seas, slight to moderate with patches of rough over western sector with west to northwest winds of 10 to 20 knots, reaching 25 to 33 knots over western sector. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands, Kerema, Yule Island, Hood Point to Samarai Islands sees 1 to 2 meters, rising to 2.5 meters along warning areas. And that ends this edition of TV1 News. Have a pleasant weekend. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.